find some of my free patterns posted over here on my blog, and if you like my work and want to support me with donations or purchase some of my special coffee patterns, you can do so over here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet these super cute earmuffs. I've got 3 different designs for you to choose from based on whatever you like. I've got a star pattern, I've got this cute heart-shaped one that I've seen blowing up on TikTok, and I've got my personal favorite, this flower one. It's a cute little daisy. I've also included ideas of how to customize it to make them any size that you like based on what kind of yarn you're using. So for this, I would recommend fuzzy or thick yarn, but if you're like me and don't have access to those kinds of yarns, I have shown you how to make it out of regular acrylic or cotton yarn, which is what I've used for these two. It's super easy. You're just gonna need some headbands. They can be thin, they can be thick, whatever you have at home and you don't use. And then you're also gonna need some stuffing. For the stuffing, what I did is I went and got myself a really cheap cushion from like a store, and then I cut it open and I took out the stuffing from there. Or what you could do is you could get actual stuffing, or you could use scrap yarn, so like a ball of yarn that you don't use anymore. You could roll it up and stuff it inside your earmuffs. In this tutorial, I'm going to be using a 4.5mm hook for all the pieces that I create for the earmuffs. I'm also going to be using 100% acrylic yarn. This is a size appropriate for a 4.5mm hook, and I've also used some furry fuzzy yarn that I had, and I'm not sure what hook size this is appropriate for, but I used a 4.5mm hook to go along with it. You're going to need the headband that you want to create the earmuffs on and the color of yarn that you're using. I'm going to be showing you 2 methods of wrapping yarn around your headband. The first method turns regular yarn into chunky yarn so you can cover the headband in a nicer way. It gives a really neat sort of braided finish, and I personally love this technique. So for this technique, you're just going to use your regular yarn, but if you do have fuzzy or kind of thick soft yarn, then you can use the second technique, which is simply wrapping the yarn around the headband without doing any additional steps. So the method you follow depends on the kind of yarn that you're going to be using for this project. I'm going to start off by showing you how to turn regular yarn into sort of a chunky, thicker yarn, and to do this you're going to wrap your end along itself like that, kind of a longer piece. Take a longer piece but not too long, and then you're going to take your end and you're going to bring it back on itself like that. So it should look something like this. You've got your end and your loop over here, and then a loop and your working yarn over there, and then you're going to pick this up and you're going to be making a slip knot like how you normally would. Make sure that you don't let go and that you're grabbing all of the appropriate pieces, and it would help if you put your hook through the loop so you don't lose it when you're tightening. Oh look, I almost lost this one. And then you're just going to tighten and you're going to have your slip knot. And now you're going to see that you don't have much to work with, but I'm going to show you how to turn that. So the one with the end, so the part with the end and the loop is just, you're just going to ignore that. That's not your working piece. Your working piece is going to be this loop and the one that's attached to your yarn. So this is how we're going to be having our chunky yarn. And once you're done working with these 3, to make the chunky yarn longer, you're going to be inserting, so straighten out your loop and pull this through, and then look at that, your chunky yarn is going to get longer and longer. You can keep going this way for as long as you want, and that's how you make the chunky yarn. Also, if you want to use the regular yarn and just wrap it without turning it into chunky yarn, then please follow the steps that I do in the second method. You don't have to turn it into chunky yarn. You can just follow the steps that I'm going to show you for this and work with it with regular or sort of a thicker yarn. Now we're going to be wrapping this around our headband, and to do that you're going to insert your hook under like this, hold on to your headband while grabbing your working end and bringing it up. Make sure that you leave some space here, so work a little bit far away from the end. And now you're going to be grabbing onto your chunky yarn and you're going to slide it through your slip knot like that. And this is how you attach it onto your headband. And now we're going to be single crocheting around it. So you're going to insert your hook under, grab onto your yarn, yarn over, and then pull it through both the loops on your hook like that. So you're just single crocheting all around. So I've run out of chunky yarn here. I'm gonna get myself some more by just pulling this through the loop like that. And then look, I've got a longer piece of chunky yarn to work with. And I'm gonna show you one more time. Insert your hook under, pull up a loop like that, yarn over, and then pull through both the loops on your hook. And this is how you're going to be single crocheting around it. Do push them like this together so that you don't see the space over there. You can slide this a little bit closer once you've done a few stitches, but just be careful to leave some space here, otherwise it is going to slide off. And now you're just going to do this all around your headband, crochet all around it until you reach the other side, and then you can fasten it off by chaining 1 or 2 with your chunky yarn, cutting it, and then sliding off, however you like to fasten off your work. And this is going to be a bit tricky, but please make sure you keep pushing it together, otherwise you're still going to be able to see your headband through it. And I'm going to show you what the finished product should look like. You can always slide this to the bottom of your headband if you want to show just this wrapped part. And if you don't like the single crochet braid that's showing, what you can do is you can just slide this under. So just keep pushing it, pushing it. It's a little bit tight, but eventually you can bring this all the way down and just hide it, and then you'll just have this wrapped part over here. Now I'm going to be showing you the other way that you can wrap your yarn around your headband. And to do this, we're going to be following similar steps, but you're going to be using your chunky or fuzzy yarn instead. I'm going to be showing you with the regular yarn in case you want to use regular yarn. And it's also kind of hard for me to show you guys what I'm doing with the fuzzy yarn, so I just thought it would be easier if I showed you with this. So you're going to start off by making a slip knot like how you regularly would. And tighten. You're going to grab your headband and you're going to hold your hook and your headband like this. Make sure you stay a little bit away from the ends. And then you're going to slide your working yarn through your slip knot, and this is how you attach it onto your headband. You can work over your end over here, so please keep it away a little bit from the edge, otherwise it's going to slide right off. Please be careful. And now you're going to insert your hook under the headband, grab onto your working yarn, pull it up. You're going to have 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through both the loops on your hook. Make sure to keep some tension. Make sure not to make this too loose, otherwise it is going to slide right off and it's going to be all bumpy and stuff. So make sure you keep your fingers tight and not loose. And now you're just going to work along your headband. So if you have a thicker yarn, then this should work just fine. That's what I did over here. And now you're going to do this until you reach the other side of your headband. And I'm going to show you how to fasten off. So let's pretend that I've reached over here. You're just going to chain 2, and then you can cut your yarn here and then pull this and tighten, and then it should tighten into a knot here, and then you'll be all done. That's what I did here with the chunky yarn. You can see that I chained 2, I cut and pull, and then here as well I chained 2 and I cut and pull, and I'm just going to leave these ends because they're going to go inside your earmuff anyway. So following the same method, I go under, grab the yarn, and then I go through all of the loops on my hook. One more time, under, grab the yarn, and go through all the loops on my hook. Now I'm going to show you how to crochet this star. It's pretty similar to the star that I did for the folklore granny square, but I just changed some of the stitches to make it a bit smaller so it fits better on my earmuff. However, if you want a bigger star, then you can follow the steps that I did for the folklore granny square instead. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring, and to do that you're going to wrap this around your fingers, and then, sorry about my cat, and then you're going to slide your hook and twist. And then while the ring is still on your fingers, you're going to chain 1 to secure, and then you can let it go. You're going to have your magic ring, and then chain 1 more. So you're going to have a total of 2 chains. And now we're going to be inserting 14 half double crochets inside the ring. To make a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And that is how you half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So go ahead and insert 14 half double crochets inside your magic ring. Once you've got 14 half double crochets, you can pull the end to tighten your magic ring. And now we're going to be connecting the round by slip stitching into the chain 2 that we made at the beginning. So that's your chain 1, and that's your chain 2 over there. Just go into one of the loops of the chain 1 and slip stitch like that. And now I'm just going to pull this to tighten it. And now we're going to start making the points of the star. So to do that, you're going to be following a specific pattern that you're going to repeat all around. I'm not sure why this isn't tightening as much as I would like it to. Okay, so to make the star, you're going to be chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the pattern that you're going to repeat all around. So start by chaining 5 and then single crochet into the second chain from your hook. That's your first, this is your second. Go into the second chain and insert a single crochet. And now you're going to be inserting a half double crochet in the next chain. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. That's your half double crochet. Now in the next one, you're going to be inserting a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And now in the very last chain, we're going to be inserting a triple crochet. Yarn over 2 times, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have our first point, and now we're going to be connecting this onto our circle. So to do that, you're going to count and skip 3 stitches. So this is where we started. We've got our first, second, and third stitch. Go into that third stitch over there and slip stitch. Let's do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet into the second chain from your hook. Then half double crochet into the next chain. Double crochet into the next chain. And then in the very last one, you're going to be inserting a triple crochet. And now we're going to be skipping 3. That's the one that we're working with. 1, 2, and 3. Slip stitch into the third. In my previous video for the star, I had lots of comments asking me why they weren't able to fit all 5 points of the star, and I would recommend just recounting your stitches and making sure you have a total of 14 and making sure you're not skipping any extras. There's not much I can do to help in that area since I can't really see your work and help you point out your mistakes. So I would recommend going back yourself and then counting your stitches and making sure that you're skipping only 3, not more, not less, and I hope that helps you out. Now you're going to repeat this all around your square until you have 5 points. So I just made my last point and I'm going to count my stitches. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to slip stitch into the third. And there you have your cute little star. To fasten off, you can chain 1 or 2 and then you can cut your yarn from over here and just pull it up and tighten the knot, and then you'll be all done. So for the star earmuffs, you're going to be making 2 of these to go 1 on each side. For the star earmuffs, I made this out of fuzzy yarn. It's a crocheted circle where I use double crochets, and since the fuzzy yarn is really hard to show the stitches with, I'm going to be showing you how to make that circle with this regular yarn over here. So you're going to start off by making a magic ring. Grab the yarn, twist, and then chain 1 while it's still on your fingers. And then you can let it go. You're going to have a secure magic ring over there. And then you can chain 1 more to make a total of 2 chains. And now you're going to be inserting 10 double crochets into the magic ring. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is your double crochet. One more time, you yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then go ahead and insert 10 double crochets inside the magic ring. The size of this circle piece is completely up to you. I'm going to show you how to make it bigger, or you can keep it smaller by doing less rounds, and this all depends on the kind of yarn that you're using. If you're using fuzzy or thick yarn, I only did 4 rounds, so you might only need to do 4, but if you're using regular yarn, then you might need to do maybe 5 or 6, depending on the size that you want for your earmuff. So I've got 10 double crochets over here, and then once you have 10 double crochets, you can tighten your circle. Now you're going to be slip stitching into the top of the chain 2. So you've got your chain 1, and then you've got your chain 2 right over there, and you're going to insert your hook into just one of the loops of the chain 2 and slip stitch. And that completes your first round. Now to start the next round and to start every other round, you're always going to start with a chain 2 at the beginning, and then you're going to be working into all the stitches. This does not count as your stitch, that is your chain 2. You're going to start from over here, and now in this round you are going to be inserting 2 double crochets in each stitch, making a total of 20 stitches in round 2. So I did my first double crochet in that stitch, and now I have to add 1 more double crochet in that same stitch. So I went into the same stitch and I inserted 1 more double crochet. And you're going to do this all around, inserting 2 double crochets in each stitch. Here I've got 20 stitches. When you're counting, please make sure you don't count the chain 2 over here. Instead, start counting from here all the way to your last stitch over here. This is the slip stitch that you did, so it's not an actual stitch and you're not going to be working into it. Now to end round 2, you're going to be slip stitching at the top of the chain 2 once more into just one of the loops. And that's how you're going to join all of your rounds. And now to start the next round, we're going to be chaining 2 again. And now for starting from round 3 onwards, we're going to be following a pattern of increases. So the pattern here is going to be 1 double crochet. So insert 1 double crochet in the first stitch, and then you're going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch, also called an increase. So go ahead and insert 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and that is your pattern. You're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1 2 1 2, or 1 and then an increase, 1 and then an increase, and you're going to do this all the way to the end, giving you a total of 30 stitches. You'll know that you're on the right track if your work always ends on an increase. So here I've got my 30 stitches, and now we're going to be ending the round, and it's completely normal for your work to curl like this. That's completely fine, please don't be worried. And now we're going to be slip stitching at the top of the chain 2, and we're going to be starting round 4. So I did a total of 4 rounds. You can do more or less. We're going to start this round by chaining 2 again. And now the pattern here is going to be 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then an increase. So let's do it together. We're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to be doing an increase, which is basically 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So you're going to do 1 1 increase, and you're going to do this all the way around, giving you a total of 40 stitches. And I'm going to stop the demonstration over here, but if you want to do more than 4 rounds, in the 5th round or 6th round and all the rounds afterwards, you're just going to add 1 more single double crochet before you do an increase. So let's pretend that I'm doing my 5th round. I'm going to do 1 1 1 and then an increase. So in the 4th round, I did 2 single double crochets and then an increase. In the 5th round, I'm going to do 3 single double crochets and then an increase. In the 6th round, I can do 4 single double crochets and then an increase. And that's basically how it's going to go. And I am going to put these patterns for the rounds in the description box if you're still confused. So you can follow those and continue if you need to do more than 4 rounds. Once you're done with all your rounds and you have the size that you want, you can fasten off just like how I've showed before. You just chain 1 or 2, and then you cut from here, and then you pull, and your round should be complete. So here are all the pieces you should make for your star earmuff. You should have 4 circle pieces in total so we can join them together, and then you should have 2 stars for the decorative bit to put on top. To complete your star earmuff, please go to the part of the video that shows you how to join the pieces together, and you're basically going to be joining the circle pieces like this by slip stitching along the sides, and then you're going to be filling it with stuffing. Please take your star and sew it on to the front piece of your earmuff. You can use a plastic needle, thread, or you can just use yarn to attach it onto your centerpiece. Now I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this heart for the heart earmuffs, and we're going to be following a very specific pattern, so please make sure you pay attention and don't miss any of the stitches, otherwise you won't be able to complete it and get a heart shaped. After following the video for the first time, to make the other pieces for your heart earmuff, you can refer to my blog where I've put up a written version of the pattern that you can just follow along without having to rewatch the video again and again. So we're going to start off by making a magic ring. And while the ring is still on your fingers, you can chain 1, and then you're going to have a secure magic ring like this. You're going to chain 1 more and get a total of 2 chains on your magic ring, and then you're going to be inserting a triple crochet. For that, you yarn over 2 times, insert your hook into the magic ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and that is a triple crochet. You're going to be inserting 2 more triple crochets into the magic ring, giving you a total of 3 triple crochets. This is very similar to the heart that I like doing in nearly all of my projects. If you've done some of my projects with me, then you're kind of going to find this familiar to the other one. So we've got our 3 triple crochets, and now we're going to be inserting 4 double crochets. So to make a double crochet, you yarn over once, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. I'm going to do that again. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2, and that is your double crochet. So 4 of those, 2 more. Now we're going to be inserting 1 triple crochet, yarn over 2 times, insert your hook, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Now we're going to be inserting 4 double crochets again, so repeating the pattern to make the other side of the heart. And 4. And now we're going to be inserting 3 triple crochets. You've got your 3 triple crochets, you're going to be chaining 2. And now we're going to tighten this a little bit, but not too much. And then you're going to be slip stitching into the center of your heart. So go into the center and slip stitch. So slide this through. And that is basically round 1 of the heart. Now we're going to be starting our second round, and please pay attention for this part. So we made our chain 2s at the beginning, so that's your chain 1 and that's your chain 2, and then this is the very first triple crochet that you did. We're going to start the next round by working into the chain 2 over here, and you're going to be inserting a single crochet into that stitch, so into that chain, and go through only one of the loops, otherwise you might make a big hole in your work like that. So go through just one of the loops and make a single crochet like that. I'm just going to tighten this a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to be starting our, so we've already started our second round, but we're going to move on. In the next stitch, which was your triple crochet, you're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets into that same stitch. So that's my first half double crochet. Oh, to half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. I just want to make sure that you guys don't have to refer to any other videos and come back to this one if you don't know how to make a stitch. I know how annoying that can be. And now in the next stitch, we're going to be inserting 3 half double crochets in that same stitch. So that's my first half double crochet, and in the same stitch I'm going to insert 2 more to make a total of 3 half double crochets. And now we're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. And now in the next 3 stitches, we're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet. So 1, and then 2, and then 3. And now we're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. So when it says something like 2 HDC, it means 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. I just want to make sure you guys can follow the written pattern easily as well. And now we've reached the point or the corner of the heart, the pointy part. And to do this, we're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet. So insert 1 half double crochet in that stitch. And then in that same stitch, insert a double crochet. And then another half double crochet in the same stitch. And now in the next stitch, be careful, it's gonna kind of disappear, so make sure you don't skip it. It's right over here. In the next stitch, you're gonna be inserting 2 half double crochets. So just to make sure that you guys don't get confused, this isn't one of my stitches. This is the full stitch. I don't know what happened over there, but I did a stitch count and maybe one of the loops got left behind or something. But basically this is my corner where I inserted 1 half double crochet, 1 double crochet, and another half double crochet. This is the one that we just did. I'm just gonna redo it. I'm so sorry if this causes any confusions for you guys, but so that's not my stitch. So I'm gonna be working into this one. And in the next stitch, you're gonna be inserting 2 half double crochets. Hopefully you guys don't have the same problem as me, because I didn't have that problem in the other heart. I must have just forgotten one of the loops and not pulled it through. So once you've got 2 half double crochets, you're going to be inserting 3 half double crochets in the next stitch. Sorry, you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. Okay, so like that. And now in the next stitch, you're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. 1 and 2. Now the next stitch, we're going to be inserting 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to put a total stitch count at the top as well to help you guys if you're still confused. And now in the next stitch, we're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets. And after your 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, you're going to reach your chain 2. And if you've reached your chain 2, after finishing the half double crochets, that's how you know that you're on the right track. Now in the very first chain over here, you're going to go into only one of the loops and insert a single crochet, and that brings us to the end of round 2. To end this round, we're going to be slip stitching right over here, so the space after this chain in the middle, you're going to insert your hook there and slip stitch like that. That's your round 2. And now make sure that this stitch over here doesn't disappear on you once you do your slip stitch. So look how it kind of disappears. You might accidentally work into this one, but please don't skip this one over here. Now we're going to be starting off round 3 by inserting 1 single crochet in these 2 stitches. So go into that stitch that's kind of disappearing and insert 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch insert 1 single crochet. And now we're going to be following a pattern. So the pattern is going to be 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And you're going to repeat this pattern 3 times. So let's do it together. 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So we did the pattern once, we have to do it 2 more times. 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. One more time, 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And now we're going to be inserting 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to reach your corner point again, and in this over here you're going to be inserting 3 single crochets in the same stitch. So yarn over, oh sorry, you don't have to yarn over, just insert 3 single crochets in the same stitch. 2 and 3. Now we're going to be inserting 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to be repeating the pattern, but this time it's going to be 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet. And you're going to do this 3 times. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 1 single crochet. So we did the pattern once, now we have to do it 2 more times. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch, 1 single crochet. We're going to do it 1 more time, 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet. And that brings us to the end of that pattern. And now we're just going to be inserting 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. And that brings us to the end of round 3. We're going to slip stitch right over here, the space that is after the stitch that you just worked into. So right over here, go into that. And please make sure that you don't let this stitch over here disappear because we need to work into that. So slip stitch. And now you're going to chain 1. And in this stitch over here that's kind of disappearing, you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet. So just go into it and do 1 half double crochet like that. You're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1, then in the next stitch another half double crochet. And now we're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch 4 times. So in the next 4 stitches, you're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. So in that same stitch, I'm going to insert another. That's 1, and then 2. If you're concerned about why my yarn looks like this is actually part of a top that I'm unraveling because I really wanted to use this pink yarn and I wasn't able to find any more of it. If you watched my crochet diary vlog, then you know what's going on here. But yeah, if you were wondering, just wanted to let you know. And let's continue. So I did 2 half double crochets in the same stitch 4 times, and now in the next 11 stitches, you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet. You're going to do 1 half double crochet 11 times, or the next 11 stitches. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And now we've reached the corner of the heart again, and this time we're going to be inserting the pattern that we did in the first round. So in the same stitch, you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet, in the same stitch a double crochet, and in the same stitch another half double crochet. And now you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet in the next 11 stitches, which is basically us repeating the pattern that we did on this side on the other side. So insert 1 half double crochet in the next 11 stitches. Now we're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch 4 times. So in the next 4 stitches, you're going to be inserting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. I make sure to say things in different ways. I know it can sound really repetitive, but I just think that really helps beginners or anyone who hasn't worked with patterns before get what I'm saying. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit. And once you're done doing it 4 times, you're going to be inserting 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So you're going to know you're on the right track if you've got 3 stitches left. And that brings us to the end of the 4th and last round. And now we're going to be ending the heart by slip stitching into that place over there, the place that's after the stitch you just worked into. Go into it and slip stitch, and to fasten off you're going to chain 2 and get your scissor, cut, pull, and then turn your heart back and then tighten this way, and there is your cute little heart. For the heart earmuff, you're going to be making 4 of these heart pieces that are going to join together, and you're also going to be making the headband. Once you're done making these pieces and following the pattern for the heart, please refer to the part of the video that shows you how to join the pieces together to complete your earmuff. If you want to do a border like this, here is the pattern that I'm using. So you start by chaining 1, and then in the next stitch you're going to be inserting 4 single crochets in the same stitch. So in the same stitch I've inserted 4, and then that's what makes like that scalloped edge look. And then in the next stitch over here, you're just gonna slip stitch. And that's what makes this like go down and then up. And now in the next stitch, you're just gonna repeat the pattern, which is 4 single crochets in the same stitch and then slip stitch into the next stitch. For the flower earmuff, I'm going to be showing you how to make the flower, and you're going to be making 4 of these, and then you can follow the part of the pattern where I show you how to join it together to complete your earmuff. I followed the puffy yarn wrapping technique to make this headband because I had a really thin one and I wanted it to look a little bit thicker, so that technique's really good for if you only have a thin headband and you want it to look thicker. We're going to start off by making a magic ring. Wrap the yarn around your fingers. Grab it like that, and then while the ring is still on your fingers, you can chain 1, and then you can let it go and you should have a secure magic ring. And now we're going to be chaining 1 more to get a total of 2 chains, and now we're going to be inserting 15 double crochets inside the magic ring. To double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that is your double crochet. So go ahead and insert 15 double crochets inside your magic ring. Once you've got 15 double crochets inside your magic ring, you can pull to tighten the circle. And now we're going to be slip stitching at the top of the chain 2. So that's your chain 1, that's your chain 2. You're going to insert your hook into 1 loop of the chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch to end the round. Now for this flower, depending on how big you want the flower earmuff to be and the thickness of your yarn, you can choose to do just 1 round for the center, or you can do 2 rounds like I did over here, because my yarn is kind of thinner compared to chunky yarn, so I need 1 more row to make it a little bit bigger. So to start the next row, you're going to chain 1, and this time we're going to be doing single crochets all around. So go around your round by inserting 2 single crochets in each stitch. So I did 1 single crochet, and in that same stitch I'm going to be inserting 1 more single crochet. So all around in every stitch you're going to be inserting 2 single crochets, which will give you a total of 30 stitches at the end. Stitch count is very important in this project, so please make sure that you have 30 stitches at the end. This is your slip stitch, so don't go inside it, and that is your chain 1. Once you're done with the round, you're going to go into 1 loop of the chain 1, and you're going to slip stitch to end this round. And while your white yarn is still on your hook, you can get your other color that you want to use for the petals, and we're going to attach it directly on the stitch. So you're just going to make a little loop with the other color, and you're going to slide it through your white yarn like that, and then you can pull to tighten. I'm going to start the next round by slip stitching into that same stitch where we just attached the yarn. So you're going to slip stitch, and now we're going to be following a pattern to do the petals. You're going to be completing the pattern 5 times around to get a total of 5 petals. So the pattern starts from now. You're going to go into your first stitch, and you're going to be inserting a single crochet. Then you're going to insert a double crochet. And then in the next stitch, you're going to be inserting 5 double crochets. So in that same stitch, you're going to be putting 5 double crochets. So that's my second, third, fourth, and fifth. And now in the next stitch, we're going to be inserting a half double crochet, and then a single crochet, and then we're going to be slip stitching to end this pattern for our first petal. So that is the pattern that you're going to repeat all around. So let's do this one more time. We start off with a single crochet, a half double crochet, and then 5 double crochets in the same stitch, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a single crochet. And then to end the pattern, you're going to be slip stitching, and that's the end of your second petal. In the description box, I've put a link to the written pattern so that you don't have to keep rewatching this video. You can just look at the written pattern and follow along from there when you're making your other flowers, and I think that would just help you out because I know how annoying it gets when you have to keep rewatching the video and going back and forth to complete your works. Once you're done, you're going to slip stitch back into that very first slip stitch that you did when you attach your color, and now we're going to be starting our second round. Now once again, you can stop doing the rounds whenever you think that your earmuff is big enough. You don't have to follow it exactly like mine. So we're going to start the next round with, again, a pattern that you're going to repeat all around your petals. So we're going to start off by making a single crochet, and then another single crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, and then 1 half double crochet, then 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. I've also put up the stitch counts on the written pattern, so if you're confused or if you think that could help you out, you can look at those. And then 1 half double crochet, and then 1 single crochet, 1 more single crochet in the next stitch. And then you're going to reach that slip stitch that you did in the previous round, and that's how you know that you're on the right track. So go into that slip stitch and make another slip stitch like that. And now we're going to start the pattern one more time. You're going to do this all around. I'll do it one more time with you guys. So we start off with a single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the same stitch, 1 half double crochet, and then single crochet, another single crochet, and you're going to reach back to where your slip stitch from the previous round is. You're going to go into it and slip stitch, and that is basically how your pattern goes, and you're going to repeat this all around. And I also want to say that it's completely normal for your work to curl like this. Please don't be worried. It's going to be completely fine when you add this stuffing inside. Here I'm at the end of my flower. I'm going to slip stitch to complete the pattern, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the next stitch as well. And then to end your flower, you can chain 1 or 2, fasten off and cut and pull and tighten, and there you'll be done with your flower. Now I'm going to show you how to attach the pieces of your earmuffs together while also attaching it to your headband. So regardless of whatever piece you're sewing together, whether it's the star earmuff or the heart one, you're going to be following the same technique. What you're going to do is you're going to put the wrong sides of your pieces together. So the right sides should be facing outwards, and we're going to be slip stitching the sides together. And the way that I do it gives this really nice border around. What you could do is you could also turn them right sides facing inwards, slip stitch, and then turn it inside out if you want. If you don't like the border that's showing over here, but I think that looks super neat. So take the color that you were using for the edge of your project, so wrong sides facing each other, and I'm going to just insert the headband and see where I would like to start joining. So I'm just going to insert my hook through the back loop, so that's your front loop, back loop, and then the piece at the back over there, the stitch at the back. And then I'm just going to try holding it together and seeing how it looks, and then I'm going to go and slip stitch all around until I come back here and tighten. So once you've got your hook through, you're going to make a loop with your other yarn like this. It's just a regular loop, and you're going to slide it through both the pieces. And then you can chain 1 and also tuck this inside so you don't have to weave it in. So you're going to chain 1, and now we're going to be slip stitching it together. So you're going to go through the back loops of your stitch, and then the other piece, and slip stitch like that. So one more time, this is your front loop and these are your back loops. Go through your back loop and the other piece and slip stitch it together. You're going to do this all around, just following the stitches, and you're going to see this really nice little border form. Here I've slip stitched almost to the end of my flower, so keep going around your piece and leave a little bit of space over here to put the stuffing inside, and then I'll show you how to tighten it. Now I'm putting the stuffing inside because I've got a little bit of space left. You can use stuffing from anything. If you're using scrap yarn, you would just ball up the scrap yarn into little balls and stuff it inside as well. Anything will work as long as it makes your piece a little bit puffy. Once you've got a bit of space left, you're just gonna tuck your headband inside, and then do try it on to make sure that you have it tucked in securely. The way that I attach it is so that it's tight and secure, but so that if I push really hard, I can move it upwards or downwards. So it is secure, but I can adjust it however I like. So I'm not really worried about it not being in the right place. So, but if you do want to secure it, you could probably mark it with like a pen, and then you could glue gun this, or you could sew the piece so it stays more secure. But I kind of like the way my method works because I can always adjust it. While your piece is inside, you're just going to continue slip stitching around, and you're going to go really close to the edge. So here I'm just slip stitching through the back, making everything super tight. And this is how I basically slide it on and off, and it just stays how I want it to stay. And to make it extra secure, I'm gonna just make sure that everything's nice and secure, maybe stretch it out a bit more, go through some more stitches, attach them to the ones in the back, and making sure that my slip stitches are super tight, otherwise it won't stay on. And so that's how you can just attach your piece onto the headband, and once you're done, you can chain 1 or 2, fasten off, and cut it, and then adjust the stuffing inside by just squeezing it around, and then you should be done with your earmuffs.